Good morning and welcome to the instructional video for this 2009 Dethleff. I'm going to walk you around the outside of the vehicle first and show you the main important factors, and then we'll move on inside. So we're based on the transit cab. It's got manually folded in mirrors, and then they will adjust just inside the door with the little lever here. You turn it to the left or to the right and then use it as a joypad. Inside here we've got the electric windows, a handbrake. There are a couple of fuses, so if you're not getting any power probably from the leisure batteries because they're located underneath that seat, then just check this 40 and 20 amp fuse is not blown just there next to the driver's seat. The door itself has a retainer just at the top to retain it back, and we have fitted on it a Fiamma awning. I'll send you a separate video of how to use the awning. There's a bin on the door, and there's also a fly screen on there as well. Got little storage pockets and a couple of hanging hooks just up there. Behind that we've got the external power socket, so when you're plugged into mains, and only when you're plugged into mains, that will allow you to plug electric outside of the vehicle, maybe like a George Foreman or an electric lamp, anything like that. In front of the rear locker door you've got the gas low filler point. So that's where you fill up the gas, and the gas can be found in a separate compartment once you then put the door back in here. So we have provisions with one gas low, and you could use normal colour gas if you wanted to do that as well, depending on what options you wanted to choose further down the line. You press the button in and that secures that in place there. Also in this location down here we have the grey water. So you put your little lever on here, your little key on this little panel here, and then it will come out of the grey pipe just down that, and that's any water that goes through the sink, the showers, anything like that. The door itself will lock in place by turning the little turnbuckles here, and then they will lock and press in to secure it permanently. Make sure that these are all locked and safe before you're driving off. In here we've got the pack with all the belongings, the toolkit, the winder handle there, spare wheel, external vent cover, for the outside. This winder is for the rear steadies, and they're just located just there, and they will stop the vehicle from moving around if you want to deploy them down. So closing it, just twist it, and then again just twist it there. On the rear here we've got the reversing camera just here. We've got a back opening window. We've got a brake light high up. On the passenger side we've got another accessible panel. In here we've got the access to the boiler if anyone needs to go into the boiler, and that's the boiler location just there. There's also a main socket again located if you want to have the door open and have anything outside, and the carpets for you are all just rolled up there. Again, that has a door retainer to hold it in place. That's just located just down there. In front of that we've got the truma vent, so this is where the boiler will vent. Make sure it's free of obstructions, please don't use it to hang anything on. Then in front of that we've got the mains plug-in point, so this is where you'll need to plug in if you want anything to work off mains electric, i.e. the sockets on the outside, the fridge, things like that, plug sockets inside. Next to that we've got a max view aerial socket, so you can plug into a mains campsite aerial, and that will allow you to watch the TVs. Then in front of that we've got the toilet cassette area, so a bit of room in here for you to have anything stored. To remove it you must have the blade valve inside closed, and then lift up the little yellow lever, that will slide out the tank. The tank itself has a little yellow cap that needs to be unscrewed to empty it. You would turn it upside down and empty it. When emptying it, press the little yellow circle, and that releases the vacuum, so it allows the toilet to flow out nice and easy. And then once you've done that, you clean it, put your fluid or your sachets just in there, and then just make sure it clips in place just like so. That's your toilet cassette. In front of that we've got the water. So just press it in and it just releases the cap. Just put your hose pipe in there, and I'll show you where to put your drain valve in inside. that will fill up until it overflows. Once you're finished, just put that back on and then it does lock. The good thing about the Dethleff is all on the outside. Most of the locks, apart from the water, is one key. The water is a separate round key, which I'll show you when you come on the day. The diesel point is just located just there, and you just use the normal diesel Ford key to open that up. Under the bonnet, you'll need to put the key just in here. Just like so. You'll need to turn it one way and then turn it the other, and that will give you access to underneath. In here we've got things like screen wash, positive point, your negative point, it gives you a little arrow to inside of where to hook up onto. So you'll look just there, that's telling you where your positive point is. Oil, dipstick, just there. Yeah, on closing it, you've got your little stance here. Just release the stance, pop it in the little yellow clip here, and then gently close it, not forgetting to remove the keys in the front there. So guys, that's the outside done. Let's move on inside. So you'll see we've got a step here. The step is deployed by pressing the button up and down, and that deploys the electric step. You'll have to make sure that this is pressed in before you set off on your onward journey. Yeah, so to lock the door from the inside, we'll just close it firmly and then turn the little latch there, and then that locks the door. To open it, pull it back to horizontal and turn it towards the driver's seat, and that will open the door for you nice and easily there. Now the main controls can all be found above the habitation door. You'll see at the minute there's an indicator to say that we're plugged into main, so that's telling you that there's mains power going in. If we want the lights and everything to work, we'll have to put the 12 volt on, and that's at the side there. To the left hand side, we've got an indicator to tell us what power is in our vehicle battery, what power is in our leisure battery. If we have any water, then we'll press and hold it, and that will tell us what's in our water for our fresh, and again for our waste, just press and hold it, it'll tell you there. You have an alarm to tell you if your battery is going low. It isn't a sounding alarm, it'll just light up just there. So pretty straightforward. To the right of that, we've got the thermostat for the heating. So once we've got our 12 volt on, we can turn the various sockets on for the lights around the vehicle. Now there'll be different points for the lights, and some lights might do dual options on that. So just what you need to work out where you want to, what you want to turn on and what you want to leave on. On the water, so I've removed the cushions for the forward facing seat, and this is where you will find your fresh water tank. Now you'll unscrew the cap off, and just inside here you'll see we've got two items. To the left hand side with the little red collar is the water pump. To the right hand side is your drain key for the boiler, for the water. Now in the up position like that, you'll just simply be able to pull it and remove it. To pop it back in place, you'll need to sit it out as it was, and then you'll need to lie it down flat just as you see there. Now with that down flat, it will allow you to fill up the fresh water tank. If you forget to do it, simply water will run straight through from you filling up on the outside and underneath the vehicle and out of the vehicle, just down there. So just remember, that is how you will fill up your fresh water just at this point on the video. When you've done that and you've got it in the right place, you just screw your cap back on, and then you ready it to fill up with your water. And then there we have our cushions back. You'll see we've got two travelling seat belts in there as well for you. The other thing you'll need to remember on the water side of it is to shut the boiler drain valve, and this can be located in the cupboard just here, and it's the bottom button at the bottom here. Now if you have it across like that, that will allow you to fill up the boiler. You can hear at the minute there's water leaking out of it because I've just drained it down. To fill it up, you'll see there's a little blue button at the front, so you'll need to turn the diamond back around and press in the little button at the bottom. Now you've got to do both parts, both press the button in and turn the diamond. Otherwise, as soon as you start the water pump, the pump will just pump the water straight from your fresh water tank out of the vehicle, through the boiler, and then down out of that drain valve there. So that is important. Now once you have done that, you can go to your heater control valve and you can start to decide whether you want to heat the vehicle for hot water and heating, and I'll show you that later in the vehicle. So quick recap, fresh water tank's under there. You'll need to close the drain valve underneath. You'll need to make sure that the boiler drain valve is in the right position there, and you'll need to close the wastewater tank outside. Once you've done that, then you'll be ready to operate the water system and the heating system. And we'll come on to that in a little short while. While we're here, we've got a TV. We've got USB points. So TV will run off 12 volt, so you don't need to be plugged into mains. And that's just located behind the little drawer just there. We've got little storage pockets just here. And you'll see the little vents are where the heating will translate around the vehicle as well. The little wooden piece that you'll see is an extension. So what you'll need to do for the table is undo the little lugs, slide the table out, and that will fit into the end of the table. I'll show you it all fitting in place now. There you go, just goes on the end just to extend the table, so if anyone is sitting in that single seat, you can then dine with the rest of them. The leg will also fold in, just on the knuckle there, to go on the lower level if you want to have it as a lower area just there, and it will hook onto the rail as I show you now. And then you can have the table in a lower position like a coffee table. Couple of drinks holders just there. We've got some magazine holders just there. Open it up, you just press the button in, and then that will lock it in place. You've got a couple of speakers and some storage pockets there. A couple of coat hooks just there as well. The bed area, so you've got the ladders at the front to give you access up to there. You've got your own window there with your blind and fire screen and your own sky roof light. We've got a couple of lights which just have a switch underneath on either side and some storage pockets for you there. When you're not using the bed, then you simply just push it up. We'll sit on the gas struts, and then just for added security so it doesn't drop, you have a belt and brace buckle just up there. Driver's seats swivel round just by lifting up the little handle here and then spinning them round. That will give you additional living space in that area for you. They do swivel both ways round, so you can swivel the drivers to the middle and the passengers to the middle. Just try doing one at a time. Onto the kitchen area, we've got the sink. Again, the taps are clearly marked. And once we've filled up the boiler, what we'll need to do is turn the tap to the hot, lift up the tap, and the pump will automatically kick in. Now what you'll do is you'll run the water until you get a steady stream. In essence, what it's going to do is pull the water from the fresh water tank through the boiler, pull all the air out, and then it will basically free flow from there. Now do that there in the kitchen, and it's also advisable to do it, again looking at the markings on the top of the tap, in that bathroom area. Then you've got a steady stream of water in both areas. Once you've done that and you've got a steady flow, just turn off the pump by pressing the lever back down, and you will be able then to go to your heater controls and work your heating. So we've got a 3-burner hob, so 1, 2, 3 on there. You'll just need to turn them on here. Yep, and you'll just need a little like stove lighter just to light them for you. Yeah, the isolation valves can be found to the right hand side. In this position at the minute, they're in the actual usable position. To isolate it, you turn it to the 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock position, just there. To get into the drawers, you'll need to press the buttons in. You'll just slide them out, so you've got storage in each one of those. To secure it in place, you just press the button in and it will lock in place for you. Yeah, we've got the grill pan just there, some additional manuals for you there, and a plug socket. So again, nice and gently, and then that will lock in place. Please make sure that you allow these to cool down before you are actually putting the glass back down. And then above, we've got a couple of extra areas just up here for storage for you as well. Behind that, we have your oven and your fridge and freezer. This is what they call a tech tower. So it lifts up. We've got the oven controls just here that lights both the grill to this side and the oven to that side. Yeah. So press and hold it, and then once you turn your gas on, that will operate in that way. Sometimes it can be a bit temperamental, so you might need just to use your lighter that you use for your hobs just to light the flame if it's not quite getting you getting the flame lit for you. So just bear that in mind. Fridge, so up is the off position. Turn it here and it will go to gas. Obviously it'll only work if your gas is on. Mains electric, so you'll see it's gone green. Went orange on gas because we've got no gas in, and it went green because we're plugged into mains electric. That will also allow you then to change the temperature, which you do on this dial, from the minimum to maximum setting. The battery option will only work when the engine's running, so it will not work if the engine's turned off like it is at the moment. Or alternatively, you've got an auto option. So the automatic will do exactly as it says. It will automatically find you the signal that is necessary. So in this, mains electric. To get into here, these are slide panels. So slide it to the right position. That will give you access into your freezer, and then again into your fridge compartment. Yeah. So make sure that they're locked in place before your onward journeys. Above here, we've got an air conditioning unit, and you need to be plugged into mains, but basically you've got an on button that will go green. That will cool you down on a warm day like today. You can change the position that it ventilates from front to back. There's one on either side, and you've got a temperature gauge on the control panel here. Pretty straightforward really. You've got some more settings underneath there, but turn it up and down just by pressing that, and then to turn it off, just press and hold. It'll take a few seconds, but that will turn off. On a nice summer's day like today, it'd be definitely a perk to have the air conditioning unit. In the shower area, so when you're using the shower, you'll need to just release the back buckle, and that will go across to screen off the plastic area here. To get to the back of it, it's two parts. So you release the little collar here. You'll need to swivel the toilet all the way around, just to here. And then what you'll do is you'll close that door with that in place to the side, and then that will stop any of the wooden sections from getting any water on there. Your shower hose is just from there, will lift up. And then here we've got the flush button, which is the blue button here for the toilet. And we've got the indicator to tell you that it is filling up. The toilet, like I said, swivels, and you'll need to operate the blade valve. So I mentioned this blade valve. So you can't have release the toilet without the blade valve in the right position. And that is the valve just at the top there. So you'll see that it opened, closed, and then it's open. So on here, towards the back of the vehicle is closed, towards the front of the vehicle is open. Okay, doke. So once you've set that in the right position, you'll be okay to do that. We've then got your light switch for your bathroom area. Inside here, we've got your storage facilities. Just in there, a couple of coat hooks as well can be found just to the left hand side. Make sure that that's clipped back in transit so that nothing moves around in that shower area. In the back area, I've started it up with the bed made up. So if you want to leave it down as a permanent bed, this is how you would do it. So if I reverse it and lift these up, you've got your table that's in the middle that will just sit in the middle and lock in place. To release it, there's a little bar underneath. So it is, we can slide that back, this little bar here. So that is your locking bar. Yeah. So pull it towards the near side and it will lock it in place. Pull it towards the off side and it will allow it to release up. You've got little tightening brackets if you want to stop it from moving left and right as well. So that's how you would do that. Underneath this area you've got some storage just there, and there's a safe just at the bottom there. Just gently lifting down. Always lift the cushions off before you lift them up. So the buttons on the front will need releasing to give you the access to storage areas, and again before you then move on you would just then press them in place and lock them. But there's plenty of storage around the vehicle. In the back here you've got the remis. Yeah, so you just lift that up, make sure that it is pressed over that little hop there, and you've got a fly screen and a blind just on there as well. On the windows themselves, there's fly screens and blinds all the way around, and then just not the normal opening handles. To hold it in place, you'll just twist it and that will stay open, release it and it will close. So they're the same all the way around the vehicle. So let's move these cushions and show you what's under here. Under here you will gain accessibility to your boiler and your external storage. Yeah. On the back wall you've got a TV bracket if you want to put a TV bracket in the rear, and we've got a sliding curtain across the back to give you some privacy from the front area. In the cupboard here we've got your TV aerial, so that's the booster box that turns it on. There's the back part of the Wi-Fi system. If you ever want to fit Wi-Fi, then you can do that just there. We've got the main switches, so that's a breaker for the satellite system. So currently at the minute it is searching, working, but it needs a software update. That's the main breaker if you want to do that. And below that is your main OCD breaker for the vehicle. So you've got the test button to the left hand side here. So you press that if you're on mains and that individual breaker will go down. And then all the other ones are on separate breakers just there. So any power trips from mains, check them, make sure that they're all in that position that you see it now. And you've got an isolator switch for your air conditioning unit just up there separately of it. On the aerial, all you do is release that collar, push the pole up, and that will give you a higher and better reception for the TV aerial. So just down here we have the heater controls. So this is the heater controls for the hot water and the heating. So the two separate elements, and I'm going to make it sort of really simple for you. The top option is what you're trying to do. So we've got the circle, which is off. Down, which is your heating only. So that flame on the top one is your heating only. Down again is heating and hot water combined. Then make sure the boiler is full of water before you switch that one on. Up one is water on 40 degrees. Up two is water on 60 degrees. Yeah. Now, to regulate the temperature of the heating, you have an inner dial that you turn to decide what speed or warmth you want it to be in the vehicle. There are ductings also around the vehicle that you can change. So the top part of them two switches is what you're trying to do. So 60 degree water, 40 degree water, the circle is off, heating only, and heating and hot water. The bottom section is how you are going to do that. So what fuel source you're going to use. So the flame on the bottom one is gas only. Go up one, and that's electric 1 kilowatt. Up two is electric 2 kilowatt. Go down one, that's gas and electric 1 kilowatt, and gas and electric 2 kilowatt. So you've got to decide what you want. So revert it again, 2 kilowatt electric, 1 kilowatt electric, gas only, gas and 1 kilowatt electric, gas and 2 kilowatt electric. Yeah, and when you don't want your heating on, or your hot water, you just turn that top one to 0. So why would you want a mixture of gas and electric? You'd use that in the winter months when you're trying to get the vehicle as hot as possible, as quickly as possible. Yeah, but providing you are plugged into mains. If you're not plugged into mains, or you're trying to operate it with no gas and you're selecting gas, you'll generally get a red warning sign to do it. Yeah, so there are your controls for your heating. Make sure that you have got the water in the vehicle before you're selecting the hot water option on there. We've got another plug socket just behind here, and we've got another storage unit here. The cab itself is a standard transit cab, so we've got plenty of little storage pockets. To slide the seat backwards and forwards, you'll need to lift up that bar. We've got adjusters just up down here for adjusting the seat and the lumbar support at the back. But here we've got storage spaces, cup holders, another storage compartment just in there. We've got a 6-speed gearbox. We've got the multimedia display with your reversing camera, your air conditioning, Another glove box just down here, plenty of drinks holders, and then your handbrake can be found just to the right of the driver's seat. We've got your wipers, indicators, and you have got some cruise control options just on there as well. So that concludes the instructional video for this beautiful Dethleff. On leaving the vehicle, you'll want to turn your 12 volt off, so press it down. Turn any of the lights off, so a couple of these entrance lights will work independent of your 12 volt as a guidance. Make sure you unplug your mains electric, and then you're ready to start your onward journeys. I hope you find the video useful. Please leave your feedback and comments. We'd love to see you subscribe to our YouTube channel. But most importantly, we hope you enjoy your new motorhome. Thanks for watching.